I thought I'd do a video that's a little bit different from what I normally do. This is just a montage of photos of a leather project I did a number of years ago for a fishing guide in the area. He wanted me to build him some pouches for some tools he kept with him on his belt as a fishing guide. And I suggested to him that rather than make three separate pouches, why not just make one pouch that would hold all three tools? As you can see, he's got a knife, scissors, and a needle nose pliers there. And I just happened to have a leather pattern for a pancake holster, and I decided to use that as the model. So what I did is I laid out the tools on one of my ovals just to see which was the right side, as you can see in the first photo. I then made a copy of that out of cardboard, as you can see on the second photo, and I laid out the lines where the stitching needed to go so that I knew where to punch my holes and start sewing. Normally I would use a machine, but my machine was down waiting on repair parts at the time, and I had to hand sew it. And with a design like this, there is a lot of sewing. So I laid it out on a piece of cardboard so that I could tell where my stitch lines were going to be. Now once I had the stitch lines laid out on cardboard, I cut those pieces out and laid them on the leather so that I knew where to trace my lines for where the stitching holes had to go. As you can see in this photo here, I already have the center pouch sewn in where the needle nose pliers go, and you can see I've got the layout for the scissors on the other side. I traced my line, punched my holes, did my sewing, and I just repeated that on the other side with the little knife there. Now, as I mentioned, with a pancake design like this, there is a lot of sewing to do. There would have been less sewing if I would have made three pouches, but I really, or sheaths I should say, but I really thought that this was probably the best option for him, and actually it turned out really well, and he liked it quite a bit. He's no longer guiding, and he did actually pass this, I don't even know what to call it, a sheath conglomeration, onto the guy that took over for him, and I see him wearing it from time to time. Like I said, there is a lot of stitching to do, and at the end, what I had to do is I had to punch holes for the belt slots where the belt would pass through, and then it was just a matter of getting the leather wet enough so that it was pliable. That's called casing the leather. Don't know why they call it that. That's just what they call it. Somebody invented that word a long time ago for it. To get the leather pliable, you put the tools in their appropriate receptacle, and then you form the leather with your thumbs. I use my thumbs anyway. You can use like a doorknob, or I see a lot of different homemade tools out there for forming the leather. And then you just let it dry for a little bit. Take the objects out, let it finish drying, and then when it's dry, you apply, or you can dye it beforehand. But I dyed this at the end, and then once the leather was dry, the dye had dried, then I just put a simple wax finish on it. And as you can see, it's a done deal. Like I said, it worked out really well. I'm just glad I don't have to hand stitch any more of those, because that was pretty grueling for me. But worked out really well. I just thought you'd enjoy watching this little video of this little pouch I made for this fishing guide. And anyway, I'll do more stuff like this maybe in the future if you like it. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I got breakfast cooking, so we'll catch you later.